The reason this book is so good is because it's based on Norman's vision, much of Michael's research, within the writing of Don Brohawn, our next speaker, who can express complex economic issues in simple, powerful language. Don is Director of Communications for the Center for Economic and Social Justice and co-founder of the Coalition for Capital Homesteading. She is also the Director of Justice-Based Management Services for Equity Expansion International. She has edited a number of books on expanded capital ownership, including the ESOP Association's compendium, Journey to an Ownership Culture. Please welcome Sister Dawn.
Thank you, Brother Bob. Sometimes simple ideas take a while to communicate, but these are ideas that should be part of every human being's DNA. Before I offer my own remarks, I would like to deliver a message from Mrs. Barbara Olson, a longtime member of CESJ and of our Happy Revolution. She lives in Henderson, Nevada. Barbara, I should mention, is an 81-year-old widow, mother and grandmother. She's an educated woman and a trained actress with a passion for justice. Barbara is barely surviving on Social Security and the small pension of her late husband, Leonard, who was an educated man, a trained classical singer and actor, and a man who loved great ideas. Leonard was murdered in a robbery while he was working as a limo driver. This is the message that Barbara asked me to deliver. To my dear and priceless friends at the Center for Economic and Social Justice, and in the name of the Coalition for Capital Homesteading, I can't be with you in person at the Rally to Own the Fed on April 15, 2011, but I'll be there with you in spirit. When this is read, then my spirit, added to all of yours, will be heard. The following statement is addressed to those voices that are heard in America, those who are in or near the seat of power, who are or have been prominent and known in the media. If you are aware of the advanced economic ideas of the late Louis Kelso, and if you see how today's economic realities are destroying us, then you must do the right thing. Speak up. Speak plainly to the American people. Encourage us to implement this new paradigm now offered through the Capital Homestead Act. Stand up for passage of this act into law. Demand it in the name of liberty and justice for all. Become a profile in courage, because the power plays going on now in the name of cost cutting are nothing short of a life and death chess game, literally to decide who lives and who dies, or at the very least, who will enjoy liberty and who will be disenfranchised. Will we witness the end of justice in America? Or will we witness a new birth of economic and social justice for every citizen, full participation with equal rights, equal opportunity, and equal access to the means to become an owner of productive capital? If we can't promote justice here in America, then where in the world can we? Own or be owned? Own the Fed. Every citizen an owner. Yes. Now a few words of my own. Spontaneous, you can see. Why do we need the Capital Homestead Act? Each one of us as citizens should ask that question. Ask yourself, why do I need the Capital Homestead Act? Ask this if you are one of the millions whose paycheck is covering less and less of higher and higher costs of living. if you are one of the millions of working people, including factory workers, teachers, firefighters, graphic designers, veterans returning from America's wars, private and public sector workers, who wonders if you will have a job next month. Ask this if you're one of the millions who may lose or has lost your home to foreclosure. Ask this if you are one of the millions of retirees who worries whether your Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid benefits will run out or be cut off. Ask this if you are one of millions of parents wondering if your children will have a better future than your own, wondering whether they will be able to support themselves and their own children financially, and wondering what kind of world will they face. Ask this if you are one of the millions in America and one of the billions in the world who is suffering under an economic system where the promises of new technology and global trade are leaving you poorer and poorer while a few are getting richer and richer. Why do each of us need the Capital Homestead Act? Because to survive and thrive, each of us as a human being needs to be able to produce and participate fully in the economy, both as a worker and as an owner. We need to have an independent source of income from our own productive capital, which we can purchase and pay for with the future earnings of our capital. So we will have the means to support ourselves and our families, so that we can be the masters and not the victims of the new technologies of the future. We each need a capital homestead so that we can be economically liberated and empowered to hold accountable government, the politicians, and the money managers. We need the Capital Homestead Act for the future of our children and for the future of a free, democratic, and just society. Own or be owned. That's why we need the Capital Homestead Act. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Dawn.